babysitting first.
Yeah, get your life together. New hair, new me.
You're annoying.
Hey Team Esquire! We know it's been a long time.
Yeah, life got a little bit busy, so sorry for the long delay, but we're back.
Back like
Back
never
with another
left. But firstly, we wanted to say congratulations to everyone who's been accepted, who has been starting their application process. We really appreciate the fact that you reached out to us and let us know where you are in that whole, I don't know, where you are in that whole process.
Yeah, and also thank you for submitting questions. Like that makes us happy when we read like questions that y'all send us. So keep sending us questions, like we really like it.
Agreed, and keep telling us where you've gotten in, what you're thinking about, if you have any questions on where you want to go, all that stuff.
So for this video, what we're gonna do is just give you kind of like a rundown of our first year of law school experience. It's kind of like the 1 year of law school that everyone's like scared about and stuff. I feel like it's like the infamous year, kind of. So we just want us to talk about our personal experiences. Maybe we can like debunk some myths that you have, talk about our struggles, successes, blah, blah, blah.
Because I think a lot of it has to just do with the mysterious aspect of it and the fact that you don't know what to expect. It's very different from undergrad. So yeah. Oh, if we use the, so what?
Nothing.
So we'll use the word 1L for those who aren't in law school or don't know anything about law school. That's basically how you categorize the first year.
Yeah, and I don't actually know what 1L stands for.
I think it's just
what's
like
the L? Law school? One law? I don't know. It doesn't really make sense.
that's how many L's you take.
Yeah. So they call it 1L, and it's kind of set up interesting. Like you're set up in sections for most law schools. So Columbia does 4 sections, and each section has 100 people. By the end of the year, you pretty much recognize everyone in your section. Like you get familiar with everybody. So it's kind of cool.
I feel like there's still people in our section that I don't know.
I feel like everyone knew us.
Cause she's mixy.
No,
that's why. Cause you mixy.
No, it's not that. It's just like there's just not a lot of black people, so like you kind of stand out. But I didn't necessarily know everybody.
And shout out to Team Sovereign if you were in.
Yeah, shout out to Sovereign section. We were in the same section.
So that's how we met. Should we talk about that?
Oh,
because we met during 1L.
Yeah, we can.
Well, you can tell the story because I actually don't remember it.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry.
Sam's memory is so bad.
That's not true.
Sam, when's my birthday?
November 16th.
Oh, this is the first time she ever got it right.
No, this is the first time for the camera, so that's how you know that I always got it right. Think about how fast I just responded.
Okay, when's our anniversary?
August 21st.
No.
22nd.
No.
18.
No.
19.
No.
What is it then?
27th.
I said 27. That's what I said. Y'all heard it. Alright.
Anyway, this is how we kind of
whatever.
met. We already. I'm sorry. Okay. There was these people in my section that approached me and asked me if I wanted to be in their study group, and I was like, oh, there's that girl Sam in our section. She seems kind of smart. I'm gonna ask her. So I asked her if she wanted to study with us. You know what her response was? She was like, oh, I'll study with y'all, but as long as it's not more than 5 people. Because I don't really do, you did! She's like, I don't really do big study groups. And I was like, okay. But then after that, we like started studying together a lot, and like we took practice tests together. We were like grinding a lot first semester 1L. We
were going off.
Yeah, we met every Sunday to like overview all the stuff. And with Kara, shout out to Kara. Kara is in our study group too. So just like an overview of 1L. So first of all, you don't get to choose any of your classes. So it's all standard stuff. So everyone's take contracts, property, like all the other standard classes, and then you get to start choosing your classes later. So that's what's really different than undergrad.
Like I went to a liberal arts college, so you had to take prereqs, but you could decide when to take your prereqs, you could decide the time, everything. No, like
it's not like that
at all. Like when you come into law school, they give you your schedule, just like high school, your schedule and your locker, and you know where to be, when to be, the same people every time, every class, same people, everything.
Yeah, they give you your section. Yeah, you're right. They give you like, they tell you this is what your life is about to look like for the next year. You're like, okay, like there's nothing you can really do about it. So that's something that's really, really different than undergrad. The 1L curve, the mysterious curve that everyone kind of sort of knows about.
It's even worse than the relationship curve.
You're so lame.
Wow, see? Wow. y'all see how mean she is? Like, bro, you see this every video, more and more is coming out.
No, like what? Okay, so
I thought that was so funny too.
just like the God's plan joke was funny last video. Anyway, I feel like I'm not gonna go down that road. So the 1-0 curve, basically 1-0 can be kind of like the Hunger Games a little bit, because everyone can't do well. It's really weird. It's like even if everyone comes out of that test and feels like they aced it, only a certain percent can get an A, only a certain percent can get an A minus, only a certain percent can get a B plus, you know? So it's like everyone can't get an A. So it kind of makes this sort of like competition between people, which I didn't really like 1-0.
And I feel like it was really interesting because like she said, you could feel like you bodied that exam and then talk to other people, and it could be like a little distinction.
Yeah.
And like a B or a B plus or A minus, like little things, because it is like relative to everyone else. I don't like the curve, but it is what it is.
Yeah,
like,
it's like all
12 life now. So.
All law schools do it. But it's just like such a harsh curve. Like having a class of 100 people, only 6 people can get an A. To me, it just seems really extreme, but I don't know.
And it's arbitrary. Like,
yeah.
It's just like, where did these numbers even come from? Like, why do most people get a B?
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know. It's weird. Oh, that was you just mentioned arbitrary. That's another thing I kind of didn't like about 1-0 was like the grading. It's unclear what the professor is going to grade you on until you get to the final. They don't really tell you in the beginning on the syllabus, like, this is what we're looking for in the final. It's just, I don't know, it's weird.
And then I also feel like this may be unique to our section. There were some professors that, taught in a way that was completely different from how they graded. So it's like they could have given you information throughout the whole semester that was rule-based, statutes, etc. But then on the exam, they wanted policy.
But they don't really tell you that. So it's something you have to kind of figure out by talking to other students. And I don't like that either. Like everything, how to do well is a mystery. And I just think that's, I don't know, it's unfair a little bit.
You know, like you could think you solved the mystery in the sense that, oh yeah, I bodied this one exam, but every other professor could want something completely different.
Okay, so how was the first year of law school, and was it different than what you expected?
Interesting. I would say my expectations of law school were a little different because I did the New York Legal program. We took like a beginner torts class, a beginner contracts class. I would say the rigor and the way that you read the material was similar, but I think the setup of law school was a little different. How much free time you had, how much time you spent sleeping versus studying versus all those things. And I think it was a little unhealthy for me first semester, the way I was like studying, not going out, things like that. But it was what I expected in that sense. How about you? What you think?
I thought the first semester was easier than I expected, I'm not gonna lie. Because I kind of came in, I watched a lot of like law school movies before I got here and stuff. And they always make
the paper, what was it?
Yeah, I watched The Paper Chase and like Legally Blonde, you know, stuff like that. And they always make law school seem like you're about to have no life, you're about to be like reading all the time.
Well, Legally Blonde is not like that, sis. Like,
she was like working out and studying at the same time. I don't think I've ever done that.
I think I actually did that, but
I think I did that in undergrad, but never, I don't know, I think my undergrad experience was so stressful. So when I got here and I was like, oh, like I can do this, like I can read and I can write.
I can read and I can write. Alright, don't do that.
Like, I'm not gonna downplay it, but like I honestly didn't think first semester was that hard. Like I thought, okay, one thing that shocked me was that you spend a lot of time in class. Like I spent more time actually in class than I did in undergrad, and like you spend a lot of time reading, but when I cut out all those extracurricular activities and like all I had to do was focus on school, it made me feel less stressed out, I guess. So second semester of 1-0 was when I got really stressed out, trying to find a job, trying to write a brief, and like there's just a lot of things that Columbia throws at you your second semester. They add another class, so instead of taking 3 classes, you're taking 4, all these different things. But overall, I think 1-0 was better than I thought.
And it's interesting because I felt like my second semester experience was better than my first semester experience. Where like, I think that I balanced life better. Like I went out second semester, which I wasn't doing really first semester. Like I was only with Angel first semester. Yeah, like first semester I had no friends besides you. And like, we would go out here and there, but most times we were studying. Like Sundays we meet, we study. And second semester, like I was out in the streets. A lot of things came together for me second semester that weren't there for me first semester, I feel like.
That kind of feeds into another question. Did you feel like you had time to have fun during 1L? Some people say like, you just need to study and that's it.
I feel like second semester I had a lot more time, even though the schedule was more condensed because we had one more class, but I think that was very intentional. We're just like, I'm not about to do the same thing I did first semester. I'm not about to be locked away in my room. I'm not about to spend all day studying. I'm not about to be in this law school library. And that was a choice that I made because I thought that it was very unhealthy first semester. What do you think?
I had fun 1L. I think 1L sound like a blast. It's not, but like, I don't know, I had fun. Like, I went out. I felt like I had free time, kind of.
And we also met a lot of lawyers. Remember, like, we used to go to little parties?
We went to a lot of networking events. So I think we used our time pretty well.
Yeah.
Okay, I think another thing that adds to the 1L pressure after your first year is when you get your job, usually, like, everything's based on your 1L grades. So it kind of adds to that, like, anxiety about 1L.
But it sucks too, right? Because like you have a bunch of people that have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
And then you have some people who have information because they're like generations of lawyers. You have some people who like heard things. You have some people who can get information elsewhere. Like it's a lot of pressure knowing that your whole life is dependent on these 2 semesters. And like, I hate to say it, but it really is. Like, when you go into EIP, which is the early interview process at Columbia, which is also OCI, which is on-campus interviews at a lot of other schools, when you go into those spaces, knowing that everything is dependent on how you do, it's really difficult. Very difficult, I think.
I think that's another thing. I guess back to the question on what surprised me about law school that I didn't know before. I didn't realize like law school grades are so important. I don't know, no one ever really told me that. So I'm gonna do my best, but I wasn't like as worried about grades. But then you're surrounded by all these people that are constantly reminding you like your 1L grades are important, your 1L grades are important. Like you have to do better than all these other people. And it kind of adds pressure, kind of like an unhealthy pressure. And I think I bought into it 1L after a while.
To any law students, 1L students who are watching this video, like that is so important thing about what she said in the sense that people will try to make you miserable.
Yes.
Like misery loves company.
Yes.
So when it comes to like finals and stuff, stay away from the law school.
Yeah, don't even go. Like study in your apartment or something.
Don't do it because you will literally step into the law school, you'll be on 10, like I'm out here, I'm having a good day, I just bodied this exam and someone will ruin your life.
Yeah.
And take care of yourself, like I said, if you are a 1L and you're watching this, because when we went through our first exam period, there were people that were not showering, not shaving, not using deodorant, all those things. And
it was obvious when they walked into the final.
Yeah, and I was just like,
that's mean, I shouldn't say that. But you should.
I mean, you didn't say any names. So.
Yeah, but
it is, it's real. And I don't know, like I think that there is nothing in this world that can stress me out that much. Nothing in this world can stress me out as much.
Make you stop taking showers.
Like, come on. I'm never gonna not take a shower. I'm never gonna go a month without washing my hair. Like those are just things that are just ingrained in you. Like I cannot.
Oh, we never explained that the reason we're talking about finals so much is because that's how you're graded. Your final is 100% of your grade. So it kind of adds pressure to the end of the semester. So all semester, you don't have any assignments, you don't have a midterm, you don't have anything. It's up to you to study it's up to you to have self-discipline and then get to the final and be able to do well. So if you're the kind of person that I guess doesn't like to set their own benchmarks or like make themselves study, I think 1L could be really hard because
figure it out.
You have to be that person. Like you have to force yourself to study even though you don't have a quiz coming up, even though you don't have a test coming up or anything.
Like I think 1L was the first time that I actually started scheduling by the hour. So like 9 to 10 contracts, 10 to 10:30 take a shower, like 10:30 to 11.
Actually, I still do that.
But that was the first time I ever did it.
Oh yeah,
I do it sometimes now. I don't schedule showers.
I don't schedule showers,
but I did 1L.
Law school is just so time consuming. Time management is so important. You have to study on your own.
Like I would text Angel like, oh yeah, let's go to the movies. And like what time? Like I need to schedule it. Like,
yeah, I do that.
Is that real? No, I was gonna say I would just add, even though we are talking about the emphasis that we put on grades, if you are 1L and you are watching this, just remember that grades aren't like grades don't define you.
And if you did well, if you're 1L watching this, you did well for a semester. And you're like, what are they talking about? Congrats, you figured it out. Congrats on doing well. But I know a lot of people kind of struggle.
But another thing that is very unique to law school is the cold calling period. So basically what a cold call is that a professor will call on you to answer whatever they want you to answer, whether it's about the facts of the case, whether it's about some theoretical aspect of it. Sometimes it's a little footnote on page 5 in the corner. Like, it's really that serious. And it all just depends on how the professor wants to run their own class. It's up to their discretion.
It is kind of nerve-wracking, especially if you don't really like speaking in front of people, because everyone's looking at you and the professor's like waiting for you to answer. Did you explain what gunners means? Everyone uses that word.
You about to call out the gunners?
I feel like I was a gunner.
Yeah, you were a gunner.
I was. I feel like gunner is a compliment, in my opinion.
It's not.
Yes, it
Because
is.
there's
It's
a way.
someone that does well.
No,
and
it's
everybody else
not.
hates.
It's like
I'm
there's
just kidding.
a
I'm just
way.
kidding.
But she is a gunner though.
I am a gunner. I try hard.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't have a problem
way to
admitting that.
try hard in school, to raise your hand, to answer questions, to do that all respectively, excuse me. And then there's a way to do it and where you're just a complete jerk. Like you
So you
raise
think
your
I'm a
hand
jerk?
with other people. You said you were a gunner, not me.
No, because the way I've heard gunner used is like, oh, like she's always like you're always participating in class.
No, because there are
You
people
go to
like
office
that.
hours, like, oh, you're a gunner, and I'm like, well, participating in class is being a gunner. Then I guess I'm a gunner because I'm gonna raise my hand.
And I feel like that's the gunner response to being called a gunner. Because like participates. And I think
Exactly, and people were calling her a gunner.
yeah,
because she
that's
was
why I said you're
participating.
probably right, yeah.
It's like she really wasn't. I think she just prepared.
No,
and
that's my
participated.
point. See, that's my point. But then there are people who are like,
But people, that's how people use
people
gunner.
conflate the terms. Yeah, I agree. Oh, let me tell y'all how shady our section is.
Oh, gunner bingo.
Gunner bingo. Like I remember we played gunner bingo. Is that too mean to say? Like what it is?
No, we're not using any names.
Yeah, so basically what gunner bingo is, like you literally print out a bingo sheet and you put different names of people in your section on the card who you think is gonna speak in class, and whoever gets literally like the bingo lines, whoever gets all the people in line wins. And I think in our section you have to say, I beg the question.
Yeah.
When you won, you get to say I beg the question. No one said it.
So as people speak in class, like you cross off that name on your bingo card, and you have 5 in a row. So obviously you fill your card with people you think like speak a lot in class. I put Sam on there because Sam likes to front, but she speaks a lot in class.
Wow.
I put myself
You
too.
feel your gunner bingo?
Yeah, I put myself too.
I didn't put you on mine.
Yes, you did.
Oh yeah, I did.
I put all people that talk a lot.
But I almost won. I was very upset when someone said they won because I was one person away from winning. I was tight.
Yeah. Nothing on the teeth?
Yeah, right here. Awesome. So we hope you found this information very useful. Don't let 1L get you down, get bottled up, make friends, take care of yourself, and enjoy law school. Like this is the last time you're gonna, well, unless you're going to school again, you know, if you want to be a career student, that's up to you. But this is like the last time you'll be having this much fun, the last time you'll be in such a rigorous environment, I feel like.
Yeah.
Take a shower.
Take showers.
Wash your hair.
Bye. See you next video.